It's Wednesday, August 30th. See from stuff up there. Home children, there is a little note card you're going to need to grab from me when you return. Let me know and I'll hook you up from there. And we are finishing poster today, which you're more than welcome to work on. So here, those of you who have poster, your goal is to get poster done because today's last day to work on it as I'm going through and explaining things to you. If your part of poster is done, but someone else in room needs poster, you can walk over and give them poster. You just plop it down. Don't stand there and have a conversation with them. That would come back to haunt you. But if you just want to take poster to them, I have no issue with that whatsoever. And that is fine with me. B points. Those of you who are in single-digit B points, this Friday I am going to be contacting parents to let them know that you need help. Either they need to help you or I will be helping you. And in here, I'm going to pause so it's not on. Which means those of you who are close to single digits, one poor choice would take you into single digits, and then come Friday, I contact parents and say, hey, we need to help this kid out because we're struggling early in the year. The rest of you, you're good to go. You have nothing that you have to worry about right now. Come on, computer. There you go. Which is what I was putting up there, that I'm just going to be contacting parents to let them know so that you guys get to have a good 3-day weekend of learning. Hi, Julian.
Is this sharpen my pencil?
That's fine.
Okay, thank you. Wait, do I have to ask next time?
No, unless you're planning on stabbing a kid after.
He's gonna stab me.
So your goal is to finish poster, and this is where that direction following thing is going to come in, whereas I was looking at some of the posters, some of us did not do so well with the direction-y bits of things. As long as yours looks as beautiful as mine, then you should be good to go. If you know you need to finish and or fix poster and someone else has it, if they're not currently working on it, you can go over and grab poster. If they're working on it, don't rip it from their hands. That would be a poor choice. If your poster is done after I get done talking about things, you can go put it on the X on my desk because I will be holding on to it till tomorrow so it doesn't get ruined. Directions, we should be good to go with that. Let's go. Did that in this class, just one kid did. We'll get her picture when she's alive again. Take a look at your notebook if you've gone to the direction or the Small World notes, just to make sure that you have followed the directions. I'm trying to help you not lose points, because tomorrow when you're standing up talking in front of the room, you lose points if you didn't follow the directions. So as an example, make sure you have all of their adjectives written down, the correct number. You can have more, you can't have less. Did you check the city and state? Did they just tell you a city? Did they just tell you a state? Did they just tell you a planet? It's going to have to be two things, city and state. On their favorite things, is it correct? Is it food, movie, TV show, color, game? It cannot be any other random thing. So make sure they follow that. If they chose animal that connects to their name, does it start with the same letter as their name? And did you tell us why they want to be that animal? So it looks for both parts, and then the things in common. Mate?
So, for the city and state, if they're born in another country, you have to state the state.
The country and the city.
Okay.
That'd be fine. Mexico City, Mexico, something like that. Read!
Where does it say animal? It doesn't say animal.
Correct, it does not.
It's supposed to be.
It's on the one that has directions,
It's supposed to be
where
in
it
the notebook.
says animal. I might have thrown you off by spelling it correctly, where it says animal.
Oh.
Yes, there is no O in animal. That's how spelling works. Right. So we're good to go there. Now, looking at poster, here are the issues. There should be no pen or pencil anywhere on poster. Pen or pencil cost you points. The good news is, I'm only grading you on your part of poster. Okay. See this one? No, this one. So, if this is you, and you follow directions where everything is big and bright and colorful, there's no pen or pencil, I can read your name easily, you have all of your adjectives, you have all of your pictures, you're good. There's only one other area I'm grading you on, is your stuff next to your face. If you didn't do that, you're going to lose points. Then, do you have the things in common written in marker in an easy for me to find place? If you've done that, you're good. If the other kid in your group didn't follow directions and put down 2 pictures and wrote down 1 word in pencil that says dumb and it's just in a random place on there, that does not impact your grade. That's the special kid's grade. You just make sure you're good and you should be fine. That's how I'm going to grade you from there. There you go. First and last name in big, bright, colorful letters. Make sure your things in common are easy for me to find and understand, and then make sure you have the adjectives written there. If you have your poster and everything looks good to you, you can put it over on the X and you're good to go. If you're still working on poster, then you can give it to somebody else. And you have the time today to work. I mean, I'm still teaching, but you have this time as I'm going through and doing things. Questions over postery thing, so I can move on from there. Yay! Then, looking at your note card that seemed to confuse Reed so much. Note cardy thing. This is what you are taking up with you. In a second, Aiden, I see you. You're not dead yet. What you're taking up with you when you give speechy thing. So 1, if you don't know how paper works, there's a front side and a back side. Because I have kids every year who get up there and they read one side and then they go, oh, and they realize they did not fill out one whole half of it. You don't take notebook up with you. You don't get to see poster. It is just you and note cardy thing. If you would like to fill out note card today while I am talking, that is called responsibility, and that makes future you a little bit easier. And you just copy the information from what you wrote down onto here, and that's how we get a chance to help you out on that one. So then just make sure you fill out both parts. Young Aiden.
You just explained it. I was going to ask if we had to fill up both
See
parts.
how it works? Patience is the bestest. So we have a thing from there. Good. Dying kid. All right. Then, on your Grady sheet, home children, this applies to you also. Looking at this side, the one that has all of the Grady bits, there are 2 areas you need to fill in. One, at the top where it says name, first and last name. If you don't put last name, I charge you points, grade points, or B points, depending on my mood and how grump I want to be with you. The other one, there's a giant arrow in the middle of it, bringing your attention to the fact that you have to write your partner's name on there. So make sure you write your partner's name so I know who you are talking about. Your name, first and last, and then partner's name so I know who you're talking about. So make sure you have filled in both of those parts. SeaWorld?
When you say, when it says partners picked, does it just mean the person we did it or all partners?
That's why it says apostrophe S. That means singular partner. And that's why there's only 5 as opposed to 20. All right. Math. It's a school thing. All right. So we're good to go there. Okay. And this is how it's going to work tomorrow when you guys get a chance to present. I'm going to have chair with X on it because you are going to be standing on X. I have step stool with X on it. And then tomorrow, there's going to be little X's on the ground over here. If you are the person who is doing the talking tomorrow, you will have your note card, and you are going to stand on a little white step stool. I will turn off the projector so it doesn't blind you. As much fun as it would to have you like swatting at things, I will turn it off to make things easier. You will be standing up here so that everyone can see you on this little step stool as you go through and read, which I know will freak some of you out because you're going to be talking in front of the class. To help you, I'm not grading you on how well you speak. I'm just grading you on how well you can follow directions. So even if you stutter and pass out, you can still get an A if you follow directions. Even though nowhere in the directions does it say stutter and pass out, that's okay. You're safe. And the person you are talking about is who everyone's paying attention to. So if I'm going through and I'm talking about Kyle, Kyle is standing up here on big chair, way up in the air. He is holding poster, this person doesn't have to talk at all because you're going to have all the attention on you. So as I'm talking and Kyle is here, Kyle just has to smile and go, "Ee, ee," and then go back. "Ee," and you just go back and forth and show them. What you cannot do is everyone stares at you, is slowly let this creep up in front. No, go, poster down! And bring the poster back down. Because if we can't see you cry, it takes away the joy. Same thing with this person. If you are reading from your note thing and it slowly creeps up in front of your face as you're trying to hide, we're going to go peekaboo, and you have to bring it back down so we can see you like a little baby infant. If you're worried, while you're up here is, Mr. Brovicast, what happens if I fall? The answer is, you hit the ground. That's how gravity works.
Whoa.
Most likely, it's going to hurt.
Did I die?
My recommendation is, don't fall, and that solves that issue. Now, usually you're going to fall because you're the kid going, yappata, 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 yeah! And then you go down, and you're going to read your arm, and we're going to have issues. So when you're up here, you just have to stand like a normal human, and you should be good. If that's a struggle for you, it's okay. It's not a me issue. That's a you and one less limb issue. The other people in your group will be standing over here where there's going to be a little X on the ground and a little X on the ground. And if you're the 5-person group, a little X on the ground. And there'll be 3 little X's over here. You have a nice, easy job. There are only 2 things you have to worry about over here. 1, do not sit on my bookshelves. I found this out the hard way 6 years ago when I had a kid who was bored waiting and then backed up and went, "Huh," and then jumped on it to sit. And when he did, his booty went, whoo, and the whole thing went down. And then it hit the next shelf, went boom, boom, and all the books went flying. And I went, oh. He goes, all I did was touch. And I went, uh-huh. No booty touches. So I see you over here, and your booty starts going, booty boot. We're going to have issues. So no booty backwards, or I'm coming at you. The other thing is, I know how tempting it is while you're over here to try and mess with SeaWorld and Alex when you're like, I'm not touching you. No bothering them. They're doing their best to be good without you messing with them. I'm going to have to cut off your fingers and then feed them to an orca whale. Hi, Alex. You've been so patient. What's up?
What happens if you break the chair by standing on it?
Then I have a broken chair. That's why there's a backup. You guys ask the easiest questions. Hi, Callie.
Does the backup also have an X on it?
It does. I'm a thinker. So, also, we do take volunteers tomorrow. And so anybody in your group can volunteer your group. It only takes one person in the group to volunteer the entire group. It's not tomorrow yet, it's still today. Kids don't know how time works. If you volunteer your group, you have to speak first in your group. You don't get the chance to volunteer to have your group go first and then go, my group's got to go first, but Evie talks. Yeah, you don't get to throw someone else underneath the bus. You volunteer, you're talking first. If no one volunteers, we'll talk about how that fun game is played when we get there. But being as that we already had 3 groups try to volunteer a second ago, I don't think that's going to be a worry. So that will be your presentations tomorrow as we go through and help you out from there. You have to talk. You have to talk. Talk, 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 talk. The zombie plague is spreading. Poster checklist. I figured one more time I'd throw it out there just to try and help you. So we're good. All right, making sure. All right, last Friday's quiz. So to give you guys a quick little cover on that one. One, it is on Skyward. I told you guys at the beginning of the week. I also did what's called bottom capping the quiz. Bottom capping means I gave you a minimum score you could get. I did not give anybody lower than an 18 out of 26, which was a C-. Did I have kids get lower than an 18? Absolutely. But in Skyward, I gave you an 18. Because this first quiz, even though some of you guys struggled, I didn't want to be that mean to you. I will not bottom cap your future quizzes. On the future ones, if you want to embrace failure, that is a dream I will let come true for you. But one of the other things is, if you were a kid that did not do well on it, If you saw in the Canvas directions, it says this is a one-take quiz, but Canvas said you had 2 takes. That's because today I'm letting you, if you want, to go back and retake it, and you can get up to a 22 out of 26, which is like a B+. So if you'd like to retake it to get up to a 22, you can. If you got a 22 or higher and you want to retake it, you can. It's just a waste of your time. But if it just makes you feel smart, you can take it a second time and go, I'm just as smart the second time. But for those kids who struggled, I figured I would be nice to you on this first one. Because I learned some kids this year are not good at following directions or thinking. And the main thing this quiz tested was following directions and thinking. So I figured I would try to be a little nice to you, and we'll see how it goes. If you redo it, you have to email me. I will not go look for it. You have to tell me that you did it. Matei!
So if you're redoing, somehow get the lower score than last
I
time.
take the higher score, I'm not that mean. So if you were to retake it and then go below the 22 or whatever you had before, the lower than the 18, I'll make fun of you, but that's it. So you should be safe. All right. So there were 3 questions that we struggled on as a class. So I was going to take a look at those 3 questions to help you out. This was the first one. What date was the class name's homework assigned for my English class? I didn't really care. I just picked a random name. My question was, can you figure out how to look over here to find it? Because last week it was written on the board on Tuesday. If your eyesight was not good enough to look over here, you had this magical thing called Canvas, where it was written right in front of you there. It was just a matter of, did you go look up information? That's what I was trying to train you to do. For my class, I want you to go look up information. It is a life skill. Figure out how to go find the thing to make it easier. Time out. I will tell you now, because I let you look up information on my quizzes, they're open note, open handout, open Google, I will start making my quizzes tougher that make you think. Because I'm allowing you to cheat, I am going to assume you are going to use these cheaty methods. So I am going to give you questions that make you think in some way. If thinking is not your friend, it is going to be a bit of a struggle this year. My goal is to make you think. If that scares you, good. It's going to be a fun year. All right, time back in. This one. You received your Heroes Hall Pass the first week of school. You won't get another one until the next 9 weeks. And what month will that occur?
October.
Yeah, it was October. This was, I just wanted to see again, if you could do a thinky thing. Could you go look at your calendar and look at the first day of school and then just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just count? Or some kids went into Google and said, if school starts on this day, what is 9 weeks later? Other kids just, paid attention in class when I kept saying over and over again that it was in October. Any of those options work. Again, this was my checking to see if you could think, or pay attention, or remember things. I agree. What will happen to your pen or pencil if you click it or tap it repeatedly? This was not on Canvas. It was not on the purple sheet. This was me telling you in class to see if you remember when I tell you things. Because a lot of the questions we'll have on quizzes are going to come from me just saying things in class and expecting the words to penetrate your brain. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I even tried to help you cheat. If you didn't know, I figured you could just take your pen or pencil and go clicky, clicky, tappy, tappy and do research. I was trying to help you guys on that one. And again, that's when we found out when you make that choice, what happens? Yeah, it becomes an astronaut and goes flying through the air.
So long to get the hit.
I know.
For like 5 minutes.
Well, you didn't commit. You would go tap, tap, and I'd look at you and you go, no. So it happened a lot of times. As soon as I'd look at somebody, like, oh, and they'd freak out. I'm like, well, you have to really commit to your choice to find out. All right, so we're good to go there. Then, let's get to a slightly funner thing.
Funner's not a word. Or neither's funner.
I am an English teacher. I passed the class called Making Up Words 105.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't make me educate you again. I was gonna let you buy it back.
Can we just get rid of it?
It's up to you.
I can buy it back for him. Am I gonna do that?
Oh, you already passed that one, Reed.
No, wait. Can I buy it back for him?
No, because you go to 9 9 points.
You let, oh, he's all, might be
I'm
already
willing to
getting.
take that risk. No, I'm
I
not.
like the game. So, for the rest of you who enjoy learning, we're going to turn to Giant Page X.
What does the next look like?
The forbidden page.
The forbidden page.
That's a forbidden page.
No.
Some of you are going to follow these directions. Some of you are not going to follow these directions. Some of you are going to freak out about a poster. So on the, those of you who have covered your page in wonderful scribbles, this might be more of a challenge for you, but that's okay. That's not a me issue. What I'm going to do is give you some directions for a thing that we're going to do this year, and this way you can always find where the directions are written down. This is a purely optional game I play throughout the year, but there are very specific rules on how to play this game. So I am going to give you the rules in just a moment. If you don't follow the rules when you play it later, you lose. And so that's why following the rules can help you out. The game is called the tie game. And here's how my tie game works. I have over 400 neckties that I have collected over the years. It covers an entire wall in my closet. Because there are only 180 school days, and because I don't wear ties on Fridays anyway, I have more ties than there are days of the school year. So I never repeat ties in a year. Whatever tie you see me wear this year, I will never wear it again while you are 7th grade. You will not see it again until you become an 8th grader. Because I have so many ties, I decided to make a game out of it to see which kids pay attention and think. You're going to start seeing a theme in my room about paying attention and thinking. It's weird. So here's how it works. I have a theme for my ties throughout each week where all of my ties have something in common. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If you can figure out what my ties have in common, you get extra B points every week. The earlier in the week you guess, the more points you get. Mondays were 4 points, Tuesday is 3, Wednesday is 2, Thursday is 1, Friday is none, because Friday it'll be on the screen in big letters, like tie game was Scooby-Doo, something like that. How do we play tie game? That's why there's these things called directions you're getting ready to write down, because this is the only day I tell you how to play. After today, and you ask me how do I play, I'll say, you wrote it down in your notebook. And you'll go, no I didn't. And then I go, sucks to be you, boo-boo. This is where learning comes in. So you have to use your own paper. I will not supply the paper to you. If you use paper from your notebook, be careful, because anytime you rip a page out of this, the pages are connected, and it means another page falls out. Because if you look at it, they're all just one long page. So it usually works best if you rip your pages out of the middle. It's a little bit safer if you're going to be ripping out pages. Or make sure when you rip it out, you leave part of it connected so it stays in. Or ignore me and see what happens.
Yes.
On your piece of paper, you get one guess per week if you choose to play. So if you guess on Monday and it turns out Tuesday you're wrong, you're done for the week. You don't get to guess again, so you have to wait. On your piece of paper, there are 4 things you're going to write down. That's where those little gray boxes come in. That's the stuff you're going to want to write down, because those are how the rules work. The things you write down are your first and last name, your whole name. Firsty name, lasty name, both names. Then you write down your class period. For you guys, it's period 3. It never changes. You write down a 3. Home children, who knows what class period you're in? It's some number between 0 and giraffe. So you write down whatever your particular class number is. Third, what day are you guessing? Careful, you just knocked my poster off the wall, so you have to make sure you lean it back up. I know. It's all right. We can help you out with that. Third, the day you are guessing. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Or it can be the date. Like you can write in there, August 30th, September 52nd, July 9th, whatever it's going to be. And then finally, what your guess is. Do you think they're all Scooby-Doo, or they're all movies, or they're all black and white somethings? Whatever it is, you write your guess on it. Then, you're going to put the guess in this box on my desk. Home children, you're out of luck for a second. Over here, there's a box on my desk, this tan box. Got a little slot thing in the top of it. You just have to put a little piece of paper inside of there, and then you should be good to go. You look confused. That's okay, I have a twitchy issue. Glad I can help. Boxy thing, you just have to slide paper into it. If you cram your hand into box, I remove as many B points as I can until I feel better. Because this box is 25 years old. It is older than you. It is from my first year of teaching. And you cramming your dirty little mitt in there is going to make me grump. Once your paper goes in there, you don't get it back. And your paper has to be at least the size of a note card. I even put a picture of a note card on there, so you know how big your thing has to be. Because you cannot put little tiny pieces of paper in there. That would be bad. Still, it's okay. If you choose to fold your paper, make sure your guess goes on the outside. Because when I had a group of girls who were learning origami, and they kept putting their guesses in, and they would fold them in like little swans, which was adorable. But then it took me like 8 minutes to figure out how to unfold it to find their guess, and that drove me insane. I realized it was much easier to just take their guess and throw it away. Don't make it easy on me. Make sure I can find your guess. So if you go foldy, it's going to make it a little bit easier if it's on the outside. And then finally, you cannot guess colors, because that's wussy Globetrotter stuff. If you just guess like we all have red or all have blue, that's just a guess. That does not require actual thinking. So you're going to have to find an actual theme. Yes, I do have a tie game going this week, and so yes, I'll have a tie game going next week. Although next week it's impossible to get 4 points because you're not here on Monday. Instead of 4 points, you get the day off for Labor Day. It's called a 3-day weekend, no matter how confused you might be by it. Surprise!
I think I know what it is.
That's good. I'm proud of you. So to help you, I took pictures of my ties. Not for this week, but we're going to do an example game to see how well you can figure it out. And we're going to try and help you as we go through. Julian!
Put his hand in it.
You just put it in there. He's fine. I'll watch it. Again, I'm aware of everything that happens in my room. Because they're not used to like the 6th grade class where they seem to be oblivious to everything. So, if you guess on Monday, how many points do you get? 4. There you go. So, if this is my tie on Monday, what would be a guess? Because you've only seen this one tie, so now you're having to predict what you think the other ties are going to be.
Winnie the Pooh.
I can see that. Could be Winnie the Pooh. Rahil?
Cartoons.
Could be cartoons, would also work. Ricardo?
Older cartoons.
Way to age it, but sure. Older cartoons. Way to age shame them. Matei?
Baby cartoons.
Baby cartoons for older cartoons. All right.
Animals.
Actually, never mind.
It could be just animals would work too. All right. If you guess on Tuesday, how many points?
Tree.
Uh-oh. What are those?
Froggies.
Frogs. So that takes out cartoons, baby cartoons, old people cartoons. If you guessed animals, that should still work so far. If you wait till Wednesday, how many points?
2.
2. Those are little doggies, so animals still seem to work. Feels like you're holding strong. If you wait till Thursday to guess, it becomes
1 point.
and that is
Animal.
so in that case, animals would work. But realize,
That's not.
I also like to make you think and to see how well you guys can try to think outside the box. Not all of my ties are going to be easy like Star Wars or animals or SpongeBob. Sometimes I want to see you stretch that brain power. So let's give you another example where it might require a wee bit more thinking. So for this one, it is a comic book tie I have of a Silver Surfer. I actually have that comic
Marvel
book.
Comics.
And so on this one you see Silver Surfer, he's fighting a bunch of robot dogs. It says Silver Surfer up there, he's blasting something with his magic blasty hand. And so that would be, how many points if you guess on Monday? 4. Nicely done. So do you have a guess you feel strong with on this one?
Furious 4. Marvel Comics.
Fantastic
Power
Four.
Hand. Fantastic Four.
Dogs. White
Magical hand. Superhero.
Dogs.
Magical hand.
Magical hands. Dogs could work.
Furious 4.
it. She's helpful. It's okay. So now we go to Tuesday, which is worth how many points?
3.
Yeah, Marvel
Superheroes
comics.
4. Fantastic 4.
So that's Thing, that's Mr. Fantastic, Human Torch, Invisible Woman, Fantastic Four is one of their very early comic book issues. So again, we feel strong with what you think your guess is.
Yeah.
All right.
This could be like SpongeBob or something.
Wednesday is
SpongeBob.
how many points?
2. SpongeBob.
Why is it
Spin. Superheroes.
So what is this?
Superman.
Superman. And that knocks out Marvel because Marvel, DC. And those of you who are guessing Marvel would have been out of luck. So that would not do you much good there. So if we go to Thursday, how many points?
1.
What? Ruh-roh, Raggy. Those are M&Ms. They're not superheroes,
Yes, they are.
but they fight hunger. I know. That does not make them a superhero. Because if you remember the beginning, I said we're thinking outside the box. You guys, you still have a lid on. You're going to have to think a little bit more creatively. Ricardo,
They all have at least one letter on them.
there you go. So oftentimes you're going to do something where they all have letters on them.
They don't have letters, they have numbers.
One of us is right, one of us is you. And so as you look through there, you can find the fact that they all have letters to them to try and help you out. Maybe we just don't know what letters are?
No, so like the Fantastic Four, they have numbers.
Yeah.
You don't know what?
Yeah, look at them go.
Okay, no one saw it. You're
No
fine.
one saw. No one saw. Don't worry.
Alright,
I won't call you stupid.
we will try one last one. Try to make it a little bit of a thinker. Monday is how many points?
4.
Oh, hang on. Those of you working on posters, you've got about 4 minutes. And then again, if your poster is done, you can put it on my desk. Tomorrow, you will have time to work on it, unless you're the first group to go. But I will hand you the posters while other groups are going. You don't get to work with other people, but if you are needing to put last minute touches on it, you can. Alright. So now, don't say your guess. Raise your hand when you have one that you want to go with. But when your guess is wrong, put it down. We're going to see how well. And if you don't want to guess yet, you can wait to guess. Because you only get one guess for the week. And again, I will tell you, this is an outside the box guess. Again, trying to get you to stretch your brain. Trying to get you to use both brain cells. Alright, ready?
What is my faces?
Tuesday, how many points?
3.
You're not trying to get your hand in there, are you?
No, of course not. I was trying to push it down more.
I see, okay.
Wait, can I open it? Faces.
Alright, so we're still going with when you feel good. Keep it, we'll see where it's going. How many points on Wednesday?
2.
They have faces.
And
What? Faces.
so which one would work for the whole week?
Yellow.
Faces.
Did you say yellow?
Yeah, that's a yellow trider thing.
Faces.
What's wrong with saying yellow?
It's a
gold
gold
triangle.
triangle. Hey, gold triangle. They're nasty.
And
Faces. They might pick their nose.
Rahel?
Rahel. They all have faces.
I'll go with that. I was going to go with eyeballs. But
See,
sure.
that's what I want.
They all have faces or eyeballs or something like that to try and help you out. Nicely done. So this has already begun for the week. Again, you only get one guess for the week. This goes off how well you guys paid attention to my ties earlier this week. Some of you did. Some of you did not. Also, sometimes when I'm recording class, you can always go back and watch the video, and you can get like a little cheaty sheet to look at it that way. Although this week I did not record any videos because you've been working on projects, so that would not have worked as well for you. Hi, Matei.
So, if we're so, like you just thought of eyeballs as an answer for this, and Rahel said something like more general, like.
So if your guess works, I will give you credit for it. Beginning of the week, I pick out my 4 ties, so I know what they are at the beginning of the week. So if you were to guess a thing on Monday that I was thinking eyeballs and you did faces, and I go look at them and they all have faces, I will still give you points.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have to have my answer if your answer works. It's just I have a thing I'm looking for, but if you think outside the box and your outside the box works, more power to you. I'm not going to shame you for sometimes being smarter than me. It happens on occasion. All right. So we're good to go there. I should hopefully have all posters back to me over there so I can hold on to postery things. All right, and then from there, let me reset. Tappa, 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 tappa. All right. Home children, this is the end of the part you get to listen to. The next thing we're going to do is not going to be on video.